Hey, very on Weather Channel. Today we're diving into a topic that might just blow your mind. Literally. Have you ever spent a full day studying for an exam or buried in a complex project at work, and by the end of it, you feel completely drained? Not just mentally, but physically exhausted, even though you barely moved from your chair. Well, there's a fascinating scientific reason for that. And it all comes down to the incredible energy-guzzling machine inside your skull, your brain. So, here's the big question we're tackling today. Does your brain really burn more calories than your muscles? The short answer is a bit nuanced, but the long answer is absolutely fascinating. It's not a simple yes or no. It's more like, per unit of mass, absolutely yes, and it's not even close. Let's break that down. Your brain is a relatively small organ, right? It only makes up about 2% of your total body weight. If you weigh 150 pounds, that's just 3 pounds of brain matter. Yet, this small but mighty organ is a total energy hog. At rest, when you're just sitting around, maybe watching this video, your brain consumes a staggering 20% of your body's total oxygen and calories. Let me say that again. 2% of your body's weight is using 20% of its fuel. That is an incredible energy budget for such a small part of you. In contrast, your entire skeletal muscle mass, which can make up around 40% of your body weight, uses about the same amount of energy. À 20-25% rest. So, if you do the math pound for pound, or gram for gram, the brain is vastly more metabolically active than muscle. It's like comparing a tiny, high-performance sports car engine to a giant, idling truck engine. The sports car engine is small, but it's constantly revving and burning through fuel at an incredible rate, just to stay on. That's your brain. But why? What is the brain doing that requires so much power? It's not like it's lifting weights or running a marathon. Well, in a way, it is. The brain's work is constant and incredibly complex. It's all about communication. Your brain contains about 86 billion neurons, or brain cells. These neurons are constantly talking to each other through electrical signals, creating what we know as thoughts, memories, emotions, and commands for our body to move. To send these signals, neurons use special structures called synapses. Each time a signal crosses a synapse, it requires energy. And we're not talking about a few signals here and there. It's estimated that there are trillions of synaptic firings happening in your brain every single second, even when you're asleep. This constant electrical storm needs a ton of fuel to maintain. The primary fuel source for your brain is glucose, which is a simple sugar we get from the carbohydrates we eat. Your brain is so dependent on glucose that it can't store it. It needs a constant, uninterrupted supply from your bloodstream. Now, let's bring the muscles back into the picture. At rest, your muscles are pretty chill. They're just maintaining tone, ready for action. But what happens when you start exercising? This is where the story gets interesting. When you go for a run, lift weights, or do any strenuous physical activity, your muscles' energy demand skyrockets. They can start burning calories at a rate that is many, many times higher than their resting rate. During intense exercise, your muscles can easily overtake the brain and become the primary energy consumer in your body, using up to 80% of your total calorie burn. So, to be precise, the statement the brain burns more calories than muscles. It's true when we're talking about the basis. But during exercise, your muscles definitely take the lead. But here's a cool thought. Does thinking how to burn more calories? If you're solving a complex math problem or learning a new language, does your brain's calorie consumption go up? The answer is yes, but it's a small increase. A really mentally demanding task might increase your brain's energy usage by about 5 to 10% above its already high baseline. While that's not enough to skip your gym session, it is a measurable effect. It helps explain why you feel so wiped out after a day of intense mental effort. Your brain has been running its own kind of marathon. This high energy cost is also a key factor in our evolution. One of the theories about why humans evolved such large, complex brains is that we also developed a diet rich enough in calories and nutrients to support them. Our ability to cook food, for example, made nutrients more easily digestible, freeing up the energy needed to power our growing brains. In the animal kingdom, having a big brain is an expensive luxury. Let's think about what this means for our daily lives. It highlights the critical importance of nutrition for brain health. Since your brain needs a constant supply of glucose, skipping meals or going on extreme low-carb diets can leave you feeling foggy, irritable, and unable to concentrate. It's not just about feeling hungry. Your brain is literally running low on fuel. That's why a balanced breakfast is so often recommended to start the day, especially for kids in school. It tops up the tank for the most important organ they'll be using all day. This also puts a new perspective on mental fatigue. It's a real physiological phenomenon. When you feel mentally exhausted, it's not just in your head. Your brain has been working hard and consuming a lot of energy. The best thing you can do is give it a break, just like you would rest your muscles after a workout. This could mean sleeping, meditating, or simply switching to a less demanding activity. And what about the long term? The brain's immense energy needs make it vulnerable. Any disruption in its fuel supply, whether from poor circulation or metabolic issues, can have serious consequences. This is why conditions like stroke, which cut off blood flow to the brain, are so devastating. It's also why maintaining good cardiovascular health and managing blood sugar levels are so crucial for long-term cognitive function and reducing the risk of neurodegenerative diseases. So, to wrap it all up, your brain is an absolute powerhouse. Weighing just 1% of your body, it uses a massive 20% of your resting calories, making it, gram for gram, the most energy-hungry organ you have. While your muscles can outpace it during a sprint, the brain's marathon of thinking, feeling, and controlling never, ever stops. It's a constant, high-energy burn that shapes everything about who we are. So next time you feel tired after a long day of thinking, give yourself a little credit. You've just completed a serious mental workout. Your amazing, energy-guzzling brain has earned a good rest. Thanks so much for watching and for diving into this with me. I hope you found it as fascinating as I do. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, please hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next exploration. See you in the next one.